so free. Soccer bopper, soccer bopper, more fun than a pillow fight. Blow 'em up.
Wait, CinePoint is on TV? CinePoint is on TV?
What?
Coming soon on video and DVD.
Yeah, and then I had to go to the clinic earlier to get new meds. I don't know. Some trial stuff. I'm not really sure, but it should help me calm down, I guess.
It's too warm.
Mom? You don't have to do this. I can help you. You already are.
It's too warm. I can't have you overheating.
What?
And now, our feature presentation.
My name is Samuel. About 6 months ago, half of the human population just disappeared, gone, without a trace. Since then, our society has completely fallen apart. There are no laws, there are no rules. It's every man for himself. I've been on the move since it happened. It seems to be the only way to survive. I'm getting tired of this. I'm getting tired of all of this. Being on my own. I'm on the search now for a group or a tribe. One that I can join. My luck seemed to change today. I found shelter. No, it wasn't warm, but it was safe. Tonight, I rest, and tomorrow, I'll make my way into the city. Besides food and water, I hope I can find someone else.
Hello? Is anybody here?
No, I'm not doing this with you.
Wait.
No.
Wait a minute.
I can't do this. No, I'm not gonna do this with you.
Where are you from?
That doesn't matter.
What's your name?
You don't need to know that. Look, I know how this is gonna end, We're gonna work together, we're gonna survive, you know, maybe be a thing, but one of us is gonna die, and it's just better and easier this way.
Well, do you know of anyone else around here?
There's a group 5 miles north and in some abandoned building. They'll help you, but this can't happen. Here. This is the only help you'll get from me. Don't follow me. Just you do your thing, I'll do mine.
I made my way into the city today. It was completely trashed and looked abandoned, just like everything else. I did run into another person, though. She was cold and calloused. I can tell she's been through so much. She told me about another group close by. I just hope they're a lot friendlier than she was. I'm gonna rest now and move out when it gets dark.
What is it?
Tell Mother Divine we found another prisoner.
I will. Bring him in.
have a lot of time. They'll be coming for you any minute. They're gonna bring you before her. Do you understand? They're gonna bring you before Mother Divine. She's insane. If you want to survive, you say yes. When she asks you to believe, you say yes. Got that? You say yes. You're gonna need this more than I do. I hope it brings you some peace.
Mother Divine. We have found another unbeliever. Should we bring him before you?
Yes. Bring him to us so that we may know him better.
Yes, Mother Divine.
Welcome, wandering traveler. What brings you to us?
I was just looking for shelter when you're...
It is more than shelter that you are seeking. I believe you're seeking companionship and fellowship with others. Isn't that what you're looking for? What is this?
If I could just have my things back, I'll be...
We have no need for things such as this here. Samuel, have you heard the good news? Believe in me, Samuel. I am the Divine One. I have been chosen to save you, to save all of you from this cold, bleak existence. Believe in me, Samuel. Believe. Believe in me, Samuel. Believe.
My name is Samuel. There's a group 5 miles north to the abandoned building. They'll help.
She's insane. If you want to survive, you say yes. Wake up.
Sorry. What? I'm not xenophobic. I'm germophobic. You are a very bad man, Jerry. Hello, I'm Jay Peterman. You're about to witness a tale of romance, revenge, and retired elderly people. Sit back and enjoy. Hello, Jerry. Hello, Newman. It was at this very moment that Newman explained to Jerry that their mail got swapped. Jerry reluctantly accepted the germ-infested mail. Thinking that it was only spam and fan mail, Jerry burned it. It was the only safe way to keep those germs out of his apartment. Little did Jerry know that one of the letters was for jury duty. It wasn't long before Jerry got a fine for his absence, accompanied by a bitter longing for revenge. Newman. $50 for one roll of toilet paper? Now, Newman, be reasonable. I don't have that kind of money. Sorry, Kramer. Unless you want the going rate. All right, fine. Because I can't go back to wiping my bottom with magazines. Excellent. Yes, excellent. You should get that checked out. Don't tell anyone, Kramer, but I have the coronavirus. Slowly, one by one, nearly everyone in Jerry's apartment got the coronavirus. Hey, Jerry, you got any orange juice? Kramer, get out of my fridge! You have the coronavirus, don't you? No, I don't. My apartment isn't safe anymore! For the first time in Jerry's life, his paranoid germophobic fears were finally rational. Jerry realized it was time to move out. Meanwhile, Elaine was taking the subway to work. Big mistake. Suddenly, Elaine noticed a man who wasn't covering his cough. Elaine chastised the man for his insensitivity and pleaded with the crowd that the man be thrown from the train. Unfortunately, no one believed poor Elaine, and an officer promptly escorted her from the train. Meanwhile, George waited on his parents hand and foot, who, after only having a runny nose, falsely believed that they both had the coronavirus. George wished he could go back to his quarantine relaxation nest, so he insisted that they prove they had the virus by simply getting tested at the hospital. George, your mother and I think it best that you continue to look after us, because the hospital is a coronavirus minefield! George suddenly realized that maybe, just maybe, he could bring the test to them. George, why you got that weird look in your eye? Georgie, stop staring and give us our sponge bath. Elaine was surrounded by a throng of homeless men who all had the coronavirus. Elaine had no idea where she was, and worse yet, each of the vagabonds were vying for her attention. Suddenly, it was Elaine's ex-boyfriend, Rusty. After getting laid off during the coronavirus, he became homeless. To Elaine's relief, he offered to take her somewhere she could hail a taxi. But in exchange, she would have to go on a date with him. Elaine begrudgingly accepted.
I thought you said you knew how to prevent Newman's engine from starting, you grease monkey! Well, no need to name call, Jerry. The politically correct term is mechanic. You got the autographed devil's cards? Of course I do! Alright, then anything for you, Jerry. Excellent! Yes, excellent!
Finally, Rusty had taken Elaine to the street of safety. However, since he'd been there last, it had become a meeting ground for people of an opposing homeless gang. All of these men were instantly infatuated with Elaine as well. Out of the blue, Rusty heard the familiar sound of a mail van starting its engine. Newman was the one who had laid Rusty off from his envelope sniffing job in the first place. Rusty had a score to settle. Rusty said he would hold Elaine to keeping her end of the deal, because he kept his. To Elaine, regrettably, a deal was a deal. Meanwhile, for the hobos, it was their chance to win Elaine's affection.
Can you spare me a tissue?
Can you spare me a tissue?
If Elaine's tissue were a flower, it was like a rose ceremony on The Bachelorette. With the coronavirus all around her, despair filled her heart. Until she saw the same officer from earlier. Yet Elaine's attempts for help were met with callous disregard. But then, just before the cop was out of earshot, Elaine called him a pig. Elaine was arrested and taken out of harm's way for now. Little did she know that she would be locked in a cell with someone who had the coronavirus. Kramer had a friend who was giving out coronavirus tests on the black market. George quite craftily convinced his parents to take the test. To his delight, they tested negative, which meant he could go home and practice his passion of social distancing. Unfortunately, the needles used in the test ended up giving his parents the coronavirus after all. However, Jerry reminded George of how old his parents were and the mortality rate. And thinking of his future inheritance and freedom from labor, only a foul creature like George Costanza could have grinned at the thought.
All the apartments in the city have put a ban on the people of my apartment from taking up residence abroad. Believe me, I'm clean. I have documentation. I want to live here.
That voice, it sounds familiar.
You!
Mama. Hi, I'm Jay Peterman. Don't forget to subscribe and like us on Facebook. And give us a comment about what you think the next episode should be about. Well, enough from me. I'm moving back to Burma. So long.
Here's a deep question. Makes you feel things, I think. Which job do you want? Okay. Where do you think you're gonna go? Like concepts or that's where do I think I'm gonna go? What do you think right now? What am I think I'm gonna do? That's a hard question to answer. Success would look like because I'd always want to keep making things, I feel like. So, success would probably be the ability to feel like doing that. And having people enjoy it and actually appreciate the things that I do. So I guess that would be success would be being granted the ability to continue this track that I'm on. It's me, Dad. Just wanted to say sorry.
I've just dealt with emergency before.
Yeah, true.
Even emergency.
Take all of the love you're given through the gap in the wall. Seal it tight with light blue ribbon. Then unlock the door. But your ego won't let you love. And your fear is your downfall. If you won't take the love you're given, then at least let me go. Please let me go. Please let me go. Please let me go. Please let me go.
sandwich! Organic jam.
Ouch!
Organic jam!
How's about some rum? Arr, that's a good rum.
Do you think there are oranges in heaven?
I guess there's pretty much anything you want.
But where do they come from?
Probably got orange trees up there. Or maybe they appear out of thin air, like a miracle.
But would they still be oranges if they weren't, you know, grown from the earth?
It's heaven. Earth has nothing to do with it.
What else do we have to compare it to? Do you think it's one place and we all share it?
Probably hard to design an afterworld that appeals to everyone.
So maybe we all get separate versions.
Our own patch of paradise.
I'd want mine to look like Balboa Park or my grandma's farm down in Vermont. What about you?
That old record store on Bird Street.
Do you think they connect? I could visit yours and you visit mine?
Of course. Wouldn't be heaven if you weren't there.
You figure they still make things? Cook and draw and build?
Gotta keep busy somehow.
Do you think everything turns out perfect? I mean, that's what it's all about up there. Perfection.
I sure as hell hope not.
Are there dances?
Lots of them. Big ol' heavenly raves. All the dead saints show up with glow sticks.
And who plays the music?
A choir of angels mixing EDM.
Think you're allowed to get drunk?
God got pissed when they ate a damn apple. I'm sure there's plenty of rules.
But if heaven's supposed to be a reward, shouldn't we be able to do whatever we want?
Well, what if you wanted to set the whole place on fire? Just for fun.
Then you're probably not someone who would be let in the first place.
Well, maybe you were a good guy when you got there, but you're gonna be waiting around forever, right? That's a long time. Long enough to get bored of being good.
Am I good?
You're good enough.
Will we still have skin?
You think we'd be a pile of guts and bones?
No. But maybe like balls of light. Celestial beings.
I don't want to be celestial. I want to be me.
Maybe you don't get a choice. Maybe it just happens to you whether you want it to or not.
Or maybe nothing happens, Ivy. Nothing at all. We just stay here.
As what? A corpse?
As meat and earth and atoms. There are worse things to be.
Ash, I'm scared.
You gotta stop staring at the sunset. It'll burn you blind.
I don't know how to look away.
Hey. Look at me. Look at me. This is all we get. This is all we're promised. Don't spend your life with one foot out the door. Just stay here. Now.
Stay with me.
Lay down, my dear sister, lay down and take your rest. Won't you lay your head down on your Savior's breast? I love you, but Jesus loves you best. And I bid you good night, good night, good night. And I bid you good night, good night, good night.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, honey, this is Dad. Hi, Teresa. It's
Hey, you.
Hey, Teresa. It's Vincent. I'm in your driveway.
Hey, Teresa. This is Emily Wysinski from the Writing Lab. Hey, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. It's Leo.
Hi, Teresa. This is Mom. Hi, Teresa. Hey, it's me.
Hey, Teresa. It's Tanner.
Hey, Teresa. This is Teresa. It's the Writing Lab.
Hi, Teresa. It's Leo.
Hey, Teresa. This is Emily Wysinski from the Writing Lab.
We are wondering you to call when you can, okay? And no matter how much I criticize you, it's always meant to help. So, you know.
But I wanted to call you and tell you I love you.
I'm just calling to congratulate you. I'm just returning your call of your returned call of my first call.
I am done associating myself with people who like tapioca pudding. For you to print, but it's 24 pages. It doesn't matter. We'll pay, just pay her for it and it will be fine.
You know. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Take care, man. Bye.
Okay, sorry. I was really sorry about that. Thanks, bye. All right, good luck. See you later. Bye.
Time comes. Okay, love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Disco.
Everyone's had a night walker at some point, whether you know it or not. It's a part of growing up. It's a part of life. You could call it a localized thing. Sometimes it's cultural. But they are proof that there's so much we don't know about the world we're living in.
Name, date of birth, and residence?
Flatwoods. Date of birth, 5. Resident, of...
Today's date is March. This is Jacqueline interviewing for FIBA. Why don't you tell me about them? Entity Classification 403. You refer to them as Nightwalkers?
Nightwalkers. That's what they're called. Entity 403. Sure. Have I ever seen one of them? No. But I've done extensive research on them. They've got long legs and arms, but a man-sized torso. They're about 13 feet tall. The worst is their eyes. Huge black holes in their head. As for their nose, it's just 2 holes in between their eyes. Their body is hairless. They're covered in gray, wrinkly skin. You could compare it to the Greys if you like, but they're different. The Greys are cold and reptilian. This is something completely different. Their fingers are 10 inches, and their toes are even longer. I've had parents use them as threats. Have they actually taken anyone? I've never seen it. I've never heard of it happening. Those weirdos don't seem to want anything, which I think is the creepiest part. There's only one link to all of their appearances. They seem to only exist to observe children.
I don't like him. I want him to go away at night.
Why?
He looks at me funny from the window.
How does he look at you funny?
When it's dark out and I'm in bed, he looks through the window. Even when my curtains are closed, I can still see his eyeballs. He's got really big eyeballs. He doesn't go away, even when I throw things at him. The one thing that makes him go away is the sunshine. I don't want him to look at me anymore.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. Can I have a juice box now?
Yes. Today is June. This is Jacqueline interviewing Marcy. Marcy, why don't you start off by telling me what you saw?
Sure. So I guess the weird part of it was the amount of them.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm sure you know you've never seen them together. They don't ever seem to interact with each other, or even much with their surroundings. I don't think I've ever seen 2 of them together, which is the surprising part. I was walking back from my night shift at the Sprecher plug plant, and it's not uncommon for me to see 1 or 2 nightwalkers on my way back. I've never seen them up close. They're always either out in the distance or looking in a second-story window. This time, though, I was walking back, and I caught it out of the corner of my eye. There's an apartment complex out by the hill. I didn't think anybody lived there. It was kind of like another affordable housing attempt thing going on. I thought they shut the place down, boarded it up to get rid of the squatters. But out in the distance I saw them, 8 of them, huddled around the same window. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, I hate to say it, but I don't know a lot about crawlers. I know they're about the size of a toad, but they've got no back legs, hence the name crawlers. They crawl up to you and attach to your ankle or your shoulder, your neck, or anything they can grab onto. There's not a lot of research done on them, unfortunately. They hang around near that abandoned forest project worked on. I can get you the contact info for the lady who owns the diner there. She's always got those damn things all over her place. Probably would bring you some if you asked her to.
Thank you, Flatwoods. That would be great.
No problem, Jack. I can tell you more about the Screechers if you want me to.
No, not today, Flatwoods. We can set something up next week if you'd like.
See you next week.
What do you think? Is it worth it looking into?
Hard to say.
Flatwoods has never let us down so far, but also this seems like more of a dead end, more of an exterminator's job, rather than FIBA business.
True.
I can tell it's going to bother you, though. Even if I say no, you're just gonna do it on your own, aren't you? Oh, Jackie. Well, the least I can do is give you my approval, so you actually go during your hours. You don't get paid overtime, and this isn't a damn charity.
Thanks, Teresa.
Yeah. You just better find something useful here, no matter what.
The name's Shelley. I own the Forest Diner. These damn things, crawlers, whatever, are all over the place. I'm constantly picking them off of myself, off the customers. It's ridiculous. Oh, where do you want me to put this doll?
You can just set that down in the corner.
Okay. Anyways, I was telling you about the crawlers. They're always bothering my customers. I think it'd be a real problem if they weren't so gall-dang cute. They ain't harming anyone, but it's like I've got an infestation of them in the diner. Flatwoods told me you guys could help, so I'm hoping you can help me out with this infestation problem.
Thank you, Shelley. Any information you have on the crawlers helps.
If you want more, you should come to the diner. I'm sure I could get some folks to talk to you about them.
So, Doug, tell me more about what you experience with the crawlers.
I hate the damn things. I'm constantly picking them off me. It's so stupid. I know they aren't hurting me, but man, they just make my day so much worse when I find one on me. It's like I'm irrationally mad about it, but the emotions are real and I can't stop from feeling them. I just feel uneasy whenever I get one on me. Like when you brush off a spider and then you feel like every little brush of fabric is a spider. I hate it.
My name's Janice, and I guess you could say that I'm a regular here. They, the crawlers, they always make me feel a little bit sad. They are so cute, and I just want to pick them up and hold them. But when I do, I get a little bit sadder, and I don't quite know what it is about them. It's like I can't be happy with a crawler in the room.
What's your name?
Craig.
Do you have anything else to add, Craig, beyond what the others have said about the crawlers?
Yes.
Can you tell me about it?
One time, I was sitting outside, just drinking my coffee, and I saw one of them crawling across the road. The little guys don't move too fast, and a truck was coming. Now, I ain't about to risk my life for no damn crawler, so I admit I watched it happen. The truck straight ran over that crawler. I sat there and watched it for a while, thought it was dead. But slowly, it started to puff back up. The thing done get back up and just crawled away. I never seen nothing like it. I don't think the darn things can die.
You have one new message.
Hey, Jacqueline, this is Jesse from Triple X Lab. Although I guess you already knew that. So I guess what's stumping me is that your inquiry is a little out of place. But you know me, always willing to do a favor for my pal over in market research, especially after all you've done for me. So basically, after you filed your initial problem audit report, we started doing our research. I don't know exactly how we got the crawlers. I'm guessing it was another Screecher scenario where we paid people to bring them in. This was about, 4 months ago? Not sure. Anyways, through some tests, we've confirmed some exciting things, Jack. First, from what we've gathered, the subjects are a sort of large parasite. Very unusual. We found that they attach to the host subject, exclusively human, and to dumb them down, suck serotonin out of the bloodstream. But even better yet, we found that the subject can withstand excessive force without a sign of bruising or internal damage. And even better than that, on a full stomach, the subject secrete the serotonin out. Amazing! We sent some of the samples off to engineering, and they think that they can cut some red tape and fast track this with the help of Teresa, so it's only a matter of time before we've got this on the shelves. The only issue is, we've got to find people to willingly get sucked on by these guys. Oh, with compensation, of course. Anyways, I'm not really supposed to be telling you this much, so it might benefit you to find some evidence in support of my project on this forest spirits. Just my suggestion. Anyways, Jack, call me back when you get this message, and I can give you some more details. You know my number. Bye.
Message deleted.
In the reality of many realities, how we see what we see affects the quality of our reality. We are children of earth and sky. DNA, descendant, now ancestor. Human being, physical spirit. Bone, flesh, blood as spirit. Metal, mineral, water as spirit. We are in time and space, but we're from beyond time and space. The past is part of the present. The future is part of the present. Life and being are interwoven. We are the DNA of Earth, Moon, planets, stars. We are related to the universal. Creator created creation. Spirit. Beneath race, gender, class, age. Beneath citizen, business, state, religion. We are human beings. And these memories are trying to remind us, human beings, it is time to rise up. Remember who we are.
We're faced with a very serious situation in this generation. There are insane people who wish to rule the world. They wish to continue to rule the world on violence and repression. And we are all the victims of that violence and repression. We, as the indigenous people of the Western Hemisphere, have been resisting this violence and this oppression for 500 years. We know that the black people have been resisting it for at least that long. And we know that the white people have had to endure it thousands of years. And now it's come full swing to this generation that we live in. Nuclearization of the world. You see, this cannot be, we cannot allow this to continue to go on. We cannot do it. See, we cannot expect that the pro-nuclear oppressor, that other side, we cannot expect that they're going to change for us. They are going to become more brutal. They're going to become more repressive. Because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power. We have to reestablish our identity. We have to understand who we are and where we fit in the natural order of the world. Because our oppressor deals in illusions. They tell us that it is power, but it is not power. They may have all the guns and they may have all the racist laws and judges and they may control all the money, but that is not power. These are imitations of power, and they are only power because in our minds we allow it to be power. But it's all an imitation. Racism and violence, racism and guns, economics, The brutality of the American corporate state way of life is nothing more than violence and repression, and it has nothing to do with power. It is brutality. It is a lack of a sane, it's a lack of a sane balance. The people who have created this system and they perpetuate this system, they are out of balance. They have made us out of balance. They have come into our minds and they've come into our hearts and they've programmed us because we live in this society, and they've put us out of balance. And because we are out of balance, we no longer have the power to deal with them. They have conquered us as a natural power. See, we are power. They deal in violence and repression. We are power. We are a part of the natural world. All of the things of the natural world are a natural part of the creation and feed off the energy of our sacred Mother Earth. We are power. But they have separated us from our spiritual connection to the earth. So people feel powerless. We look at the oppressor and we look at the enemy because they have the most guns and the most lies and the most money. People start to feel powerless. We are power. We are a natural part of the creation. We were put here on this sacred Mother Earth to serve a purpose. And somewhere in the history of people, we're forgetting what the purpose is. The purpose is to honor the earth. The purpose is to protect the earth. The purpose is to live in balance with the earth. The earth is our mother. And we will never free ourselves as human people. We will never free ourselves as sexual people. We will never free ourselves until we address the issue of how we live in balance with the earth. Because all of our resistance and all of our struggle is hollow, it's false. It's another one of those oppressors' hypocrisies. If we do not look out for the welfare of the earth first, because I do not care who it is, any child that turns on their mother is living in a terrible, terrible confusion. The earth is our mother. We must take care of the earth. They pollute. This oppressor, this machine that has gone mad and run amok, it is berserk. They keep telling us, progress. They keep telling us face reality. Well, let's deal with reality. Reality is the earth can no longer take this attack. We can no longer allow this thing to continue where it's polluting the air. It's polluting the water, polluting our food. They pollute the air, they pollute the water, they pollute our food, they pollute our minds. They have made us to believe that they are power. But they are not. They are violent and they are brutal, but they are not power. We are a natural part of the earth. As a natural part of the earth, we have the energy and the power that is the earth. The earth will take care of us if we will remember the earth in more than just our words.
There's no not being in the now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't escape it. It's something that is constantly informing you about what you represent.
And I was seeing something like connection is the maintenance of now.
Yeah, and the catalyst for change.
Well, I wrote documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Connection and creation. From connection, we have humans crossing paths. From creation, humans create art to connect. So there is a place where those two can meet.
Are you going to include yourself?
I might, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
No, I like the idea of incorporating a little piece of yourself into everything.
That's four.
That you make.
So is it connection or wholeness, oneness? Is it just a connection or is it actually overlapping and being? I think that kind of what we've gotten to is that
the subjects within your documentary aren't connecting with each other, but you are connecting them.
Them in the end.
I connect them
by
To
their
one.
piece. Yes.
camera by their pieces that they give me.
Yeah. You're drawing a conclusion about each separate piece together as the filmmaker. That's projection. That's for you to like just
like
decide.
The question would be like, if I want to hit my head.
What?
Your head would still.
I hit my head yesterday.
Oh.
Hit my noggin.
I'm sorry.
Monica was telling a really boring story. So
Oh
I was
my
being dramatic
God.
About it, and I was just like, and I slipped off the chair and I hit my head.
And it backfired, you
And it
jackass.
backfired. Yeah, exactly.
To be
And it
fair, I
was-
was telling a really boring story.
It was terrible.
I was
Oh,
like telling a
man.
good story, but then I got too caught up in the like times.
like-
I was like,
Let me tell you about my schedule. So Tuesdays and Thursdays I had so and so, but actually is it 2:13, 2:12? No, maybe it was 2:11. No, I think it was 2:12. Yeah, it was 2:12. Anyways, and then what time is it at 5 to 7? No, 4 to 6:30. 5. Let's say 5 to 7. We'll go 5 to 7. It was just on the number of the class, the time. I had no content whatsoever. I was like, you are killing me.
To be fair, you didn't have much to go on. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the beginning of a story.
There's the process
Can't
of
get
making
going.
it cut to the point.
and then you hit your head on the
Analyzing
chair.
it, the
and knocked
connection.
it.
That was
And then I had to
Yeah,
pick you
very
up.
brainstorming and creating together.
Oh shit,
And
that's
then
all
there's
I
the final product of everybody
We're
creating something together.
No, friends fine putting forth.
That's kind of what I'm going
Mhm.
for.
And that's what's really exciting,
For-
is the connections that can be made.
Nice acting. I mean, I know it was for the recorder, but.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Future.
Find footing for the future.
This project itself is a collaboration through the connection and communication with others. Do we have some things to talk
We're
about?
doing it. This is something to talk about.
What?
Finding things to talk about. I don't know if I always have things to talk about. Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
No one said it was, but.
I really like listening. I really like finding the balance between contributing and taking in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's the big thing for me. I really like balance. And I think everything's really turbulent. And so the things that I can make balance.
Everything's turbulent?
I think most things in life are turbulent. Or at least unpredictable. Just because you really only have control over yourself, so you can't super control the things that happen to you, or even like the path that you take. You have some control over, but I think most things are turbulent. Sure.
It's fun working on a project with light.
Yeah.
And different.
There's a lot you can do with it.
Well, yeah, but I've done it before, to be honest. I guess this is just a more evolved edition. I feel like there's growth in my skills to make film, so.
That's exciting. That's
I
what
feel-
it's about.
Right,
isn't it?
right.
This final
So
project.
I kind of like seeing like it was like a project that something I was really fascinated by in the past, thematically. Still fascinated with it today.
It's really messy.
But the film's
I guess it's not organized, but balance, I guess. I keep coming back to that word. I think it's really important for things to work together. And I like a sense of harmony.
The board will see you now. Right this way.
Genius, it's inspired. Come with us, boy, you're hired.
It's the new way.
Not the old way. Quiet. What do you say? Take this. Yeah, what do you say? Yeah. What do you say?
Y'all are looking good.
Oh, hey, you made it. I thought you were gonna come. Yeah. I like this song. Me too.
February 6th, 2006. Last night I lost a tooth. Today I am wearing my favorite sweater. April 3rd, 2006. On Monday I planted seeds. My marigolds are growing. I water them every week. October 10th, 2006. Last night I flew my paper airplane outside. My brother watched me. I only flew it in the garage because my dad was mowing the lawn. October 20th, 2006. Last night I went to my grandma's house. We planted lilac bushes. We also played cards. February 28th, 2007. Last night when I got home there was a big space where our kitchen used to be. August 23rd, 2017. I kick and scream across the landscape of my own bed, writhing on every square inch of 800 thread count sheets. January 20th, 2019. Today I made it halfway to somewhere else. November 8th, 2019. I'm afraid of the winter, atrophied and hollow. April 16th, 2020. It still makes me cry because it still matters to me.